Hey heathens! Let's talk about whether the earth is round or not. It is my suggestion that the Bible thinks that the earth was indeed flat. Many Christians will say that no, it was round. They will use two verses in order to try and suggest this. They are Proverbs 8, verses 26 and 27. They are, and then Isaiah 40, verse 22. Both of these refer to a circle. I was there when he drew a circle on the face of the deep, and it is he who sits above the circle of the earth. My suggestion to you is that they are talking about a circle, which, by the way, is also flat, and not a sphere or a ball. Let's get that logo out of there. We don't want anybody thinking we're doing anything there. But a ball or a melon-like, shaped like a head, however, whatever it does. Some people say that they didn't have a word for sphere, which is wrong. But regardless, it could have said lump, it could have said anything that would have been better than saying circle, unless they thought it was this, a flat circle. Okay? So, who's right? Let's look at some more verses. The dream of Nebuchadnezzar in Daniel 4:10 and 11, he sees a tree at the center of the earth, and its height was great, and it grew great and strong, and it reached to the top of the heaven. Now, heaven here is being used to say the word sky. If you're suggesting that the word sky is being used here, then it reaches to the top of the sky. Top of the sky means the top of our atmosphere. Have you ever seen a tree grow that tall? Now, this is a dream, by the way, so maybe it could. At that point, if you were on this type of circle, if that's what they want to call it, if you're on this type of circle and there's a tree that rose all the way to the top of the atmosphere, could you see all of the earth that is over here? No, you couldn't. What about down here? No. Here? No, 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 no. As a matter of fact, even if you were all the way up to there, you probably couldn't even see the ground. But anyway, it was a dream after all. So maybe that was just symbolism, right? Well, Jesus does it too. For Matthew 4, verse 8, the devil takes him up to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their splendor. All the kingdoms of the world. This is Jesus' time, so this is only 2,000 years ago. So ancient Greece existed, there was ancient Rome, there was ancient Egypt, and you got old China and a few other places too, right? Okay. If you are in an airplane at 20,000 feet, you can't see much more than a few cities. You certainly aren't going to see all the way across the entire Mediterranean Sea. So he could not have possibly seen all the kingdoms of the world. Someone suggested that it was a vision that the devil gave him. Satan gave him this vision to see these things. I thought Jesus was God. He couldn't have had his own vision. And why did they have to go to the top of the mountain to have this vision? Oh, that's right. It was a very high mountain. Moving on. The ends of the earth. Repeated over and over and over again. Now, they'll argue that the ends of the earth is used as a figure of speech, basically. Where did this figure of speech come from? It came from the Bible, where they thought it was real. Alright, so, ends of the earth. Deuteronomy 13:7 says, talks about the people that are around you, whether near or far away from you, from one end of the earth to the other. Job 11:9, it is a measure longer than the earth. This one is one of the most damaging, because this is all in Job. Job 11:9, it is a measure longer than the earth and broader than the sea. Is that talking about a round earth? But maybe we're just talking about land mass here, not the, in other words, not the earth, but instead the ground, right? Okay, well, Job 28:24 says, he looketh to the ends of the earth and seeth under the whole heaven. Okay, well, maybe this means that it's the whole earth under the whole heaven. Maybe. Job 37:3 says, He directed it under the whole heaven, and His lightning unto the ends of the earth. Why would you use the ends of the earth to describe the landmass that He's on, that He can see to the edges, when you're talking about the whole heaven that goes all the way around the earth? It doesn't make sense. You get to Job 38:13, and it says, this is talking about the sun rising, of course, that it might take the earth by the edges and shake the wicked out of it. Now, could you please find me an edge on our earth? Anyone see an edge? Also, remember, we're talking about the sun rising, which is like way over there. How's it going to grab the edges of the earth? It's not. But if they thought that the earth was flat, but in a circular shape, but it was flat, and that the sun was in the dome, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. The sun is in the dome, then the sun comes up here, and it could grab and shake the edges. Alright, there's plenty more into the other stuff. Deuteronomy 28 verse 49 and 64, 33 verse 17, and 1 Samuel 2:10. There's a bunch of others. Oh, by the way, Deuteronomy 13:17 also mentions unicorns. Alright, there's also a whole bunch of them in Psalms. People try and write off the Psalms by saying, oh, well, they're just stories, they don't count. Whatever. But here they are. Psalms 2:8, Psalms 19:4, Psalms 22:27, Psalms 33:13, Psalms 33:14, Psalms 48:10, Psalms 59:13, Psalms 61:2, Psalms 65:5, and Psalms 72:8. They're all over there, so if you want to go dig them up. Alright, so what about the sky? If the land is flat, what about the sky? The sky, Genesis 1, 6, and 7, let there be a dome in the midst of the waters. In the midst of the waters, okay? And let it separate the waters from the waters. There's waters underneath, there's waters above, there's a dome in between. Alright, what about the sun and the moon? 14 and 17, let there be lights in the dome of the sky to separate the day and the night. Let them be signs for seasons, for days, and for years, and let them be let them be in the dome of the sky and give light upon the earth. And it was so. And He made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars. So were the stars included in the dome? Well, we're not sure, but we know the sun and the moon were. Mark 13:24 and 25. But in those days, after that suffering, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. The moon doesn't have a light. It's just a reflection of the sun. And the stars will be falling from heaven. Heaven here being the word that is meant to use for sky, so the stars fall from the sky. And the powers of the heavens will be shaken. So it appears they think that there is a dome over the earth, and these stars are all part of it, as well as the sun and the moon. Alright, so is the dome just the edge of our atmosphere? No, it's hard. Job 13:18, can you, like Him, spread out the skies hard as a molten mirror? Proverbs 8:28, when He made firm the skies above. Alright, so is there sky above the clouds? Job 22:14, thick clouds enwrap Him so that He does not see that, and He walks on the dome of the heaven. So the clouds enwrap God so that people don't see Him, and then He walks on the dome of the heaven on these clouds. So the clouds are at the very, very tip top, which we know is not true. Alright, so where does rain come from? See how far I got to go here. Well, no, I'm not going to have time to cover on the rain. We'll do the rain in another video. But bottom line is the world is flat. It has a solid dome over it, and God lives above the clouds which are at the top of that dome. There are stars, the sun and the moon, included in that dome. And if you're trying to suggest to me that a circle is a sphere, you are wrong. In part 2 of this video, we're going to demonstrate that using our Earth, as well as a few other nice little props.